What's up, dudes? I'm 3 Hero, and welcome back to my channel in which I make videos of me playing video games. I'm just messing right now with this because why not? It's basically just Giant 2048, but I just wanted to do some talking for no reason on the fact that talking's fun, you know. But yeah, like plans I've got for my channel and all, like what I want to do for my channel in the future. Like, you might know that I've got my Minecraft Pocket Edition Let's Play. That's all fun, except it's kind of like it's a mobile device, and those are really hard to play games on. Now, I really want to move to PC gameplay. Now I want to do the Java Edition because it's got better redstone, more features. I mean, the Pocket Edition exclusives, majority of them aren't all that great. I mean, a bunch of them, the PC edition's already got in the end anyway, like the beetroot, the more zombie villager skins, the multiple types of boats. What else? Like, and Fallen Trees getting added to the PC edition is not something that's unlikely to happen. Like, that's something that could probably happen. I mean, it's not like it's hard, and and the Java edition will definitely benefit from having that because it's just something more realistic. Well, actually, wouldn't really benefit from it, but also nothing bad would happen if it got those. But you know what I'm trying to say? It's just something that could be added in like 5 seconds and would take forever for us to notice if it actually was added because they'd add it in 5 seconds, stick it in one of the snapshots, forget they added it, and never put it in the changelog. But then later they'll be like, oh yeah, and then some dude will be jumping around survival and find a fallen tree in survival, fallen tree that just generated in the world, and then boom, you got yourself fallen trees. But that's something that could exist. But yeah, I'm going to jump to the Java edition. Now the thing is, I've always wanted crossplay for all the Minecraft editions, but the way it's coming right now, using the Pocket Edition as the base, is pretty undesirable, to be honest. Because the Pocket Edition doesn't follow the PC Edition perfectly. Like, the redstone problems I've been talking about in videos, yeah, those are just some examples. Like, how's what's it called? Quasi-connectivity, that whole stuff, the bud powering stuff, that is stuff that is really useful in redstone builds in the PC edition that just doesn't exist in the Pocket edition. And also, like, the fact that pistons, when given a really quick pulse, spit out their blocks, again, something really useful for the PC edition that just doesn't exist. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I don't really like it. The Java edition will always be the main version of the game for me, to be honest. Like, I'm going to be switching to the Java edition during the summer at some point for all major content on my channel. Like, there's going to be a finale episode of my Pocket Edition Let's Play, and then I'm going to start up the PC Edition stuff, which, to be honest, just has better controls for me. So I just go in there, and I probably won't be dying as much because my controls will be better. You've never seen me dying on screen, though, to be honest, but it's happened. It's happened before. Yeah, but the console edition, it is a great version of the game. It is infinite times more stable than both the Pocket Edition and the PC Edition. And I say it's more stable than the Pocket Edition because the Pocket Edition sat for weeks with fatal crashes sitting in the game. Like, if that was the console edition, that update would never get past certification there. Like, if they kept those crashes in the update, it would never get past certification, and us as the community would never have to deal with them. Like, if it's a hidden bug, sure, that's a thing that will get past certification. Like, I remember there was this whole problem with mob spawners a while back, but if it's fatally crashing when it's because you tried to open a world before it finished signing into Xbox Live, that will basically, that would, other than the fact that that's not going to happen with an Xbox or something, because Xboxes are signed in, the Xbox itself is signed in, and even if you aren't signed in, you can still play the game. So, yeah. Just that crash was a pain in the butt, especially on slow internet connections. Another thing that for a while, back in like the 1.0 betas, like for the first little bit, the game would literally crash if you tried to open it without an internet connection, which wasn't too bad. Well, my data was, I still had data, but ran out of data and I can't play the thing offline. Really annoying. Like, at the same time, for those who are using only an Android device, as soon as you release a beta with something that bad in it, you basically screwed them. Which was never a good thing, to be honest. I mean, I know it's a beta and it's not going to work perfectly, but at the same time, you gotta be considerate about your gaming audio. Like, the Pocket Edition team has always been the least, like, they've got the fastest updates mostly in history, but I'm just gonna point this out now. The Console Edition update system, like, the last time they had an update was the last time the Java Edition had an update. Console Edition's last update was around the same time as the last update for the Java Edition and the Pocket Edition. The next Pocket Edition update is going to be at the end of August, because that's like when they're finally going to do all the crossplay stuff and we're all going to be good. If they don't have coarse dirt, then I am never moving to this crossplay version. Because, honestly, coarse dirt is... The reason, like, I'm really annoyed at the Pocket Edition's lack of having coarse dirt is because coarse dirt itself, like, before concrete came along, was a way to get rid of your unwanted gravel. Because gravel is just such an ugly block. So it was just like... So, with coarse dirt, because coarse dirt's crafted using 2 dirt and 2 gravel, and you get 4 coarse dirt. And you're thinking, why do you want coarse dirt? It's useless. Well, here's the thing, though. If you use your hoe on coarse dirt, and I'm also going to give you a reason to actually craft a diamond hoe, so you got something that won't, so you don't have to keep crafting a hoe, like, almost every time you're going to be making more dirt, because the thing is, when you use your hoe on some coarse dirt, it turns into regular dirt. Really useful stuff there. So I'm complaining because because without it you can't turn your gravel into dirt, which is honestly one of the nicest things, because gravel's useless. We can all agree on that, but dirt is really useful. I mean, you use that in your farms all the time. So yeah, if they don't add coarse dirt to this, I think they're calling it Bedrock version. Like, I'm out and I'm sticking with the Java Edition for the rest of my YouTubing. Like, that's where my YouTubing is going to be headed. Like, I'm doing that, but I was thinking that I'd still include Pocket Edition stuff, because, you know, it's Bedrock Edition. Like, it'll be, like, the main version of the game, but if they don't add coarse dirt, then what's the point, really? Because they can't give us the basic courtesy of being able to turn the most useless block into the game into a, truthfully, really useful block. Let's just say that. I mean, sure, there's people who somehow think that, okay, once upon a time, gravel actually had a nice texture. Like, its old texture was so much nicer, in my opinion. Like, it actually looked like real-life gravel is one of the things I'd like to point out about it. And it was just a lot better to use in builds. But now, it's just... I don't know, it looks too, I don't know, plasticky, cartoon. It looks too cartoony, to be honest, in its design, in its new design. Like, I don't know, it's just not a good looking block anymore. Like, its old texture was beautiful, Beautiful old texture. I love that old texture. But, yeah, they changed it. Just, like, yeah, I agree with Toycat in the fact that it just sucks. But, yeah, another thing I'd like to just, also, if they don't improve the redstone, also, there's another thing, like, the cool thing about, the glazed terracotta, where it just did not stick to things. Like, it could be pushed by pistons, but it wouldn't but it wouldn't be pulled by the sticky pistons. It wouldn't be moved by slime blocks. Well, it could be pushed by the slime blocks, I guess, but the slime blocks can't pull it. So if it's attached to the side that the slime block, that's the direction the slime blocks are moving it should move. But yeah, the Pocket Edition, it's basically just a normal block when it comes to piston. Like, it's such a cool thing where it can be pushed but not pulled. Like, that itself was just so cool. Like, I myself can't think of any possibilities for how to use that on my off the top of my head right now, but I'm guarantee you there are people who already have found at least 5 uses for that. Maybe 4. Maybe more. I don't know, but it's just not in the Pocket Edition that way it works, which is just weird, considering it could be easily coded into the Pocket Edition too. I mean, I do know a bit about how the code works. I've done some modding, so yeah, I haven't released the mods though because I'm too I when it comes to stuff I code, I never finish it. It's just something that I just like to point out, and I think I'll be finishing stuff more. But another thing I'd like to point out is that the Java edition is still hands down the best edition of the console edition's great. Like, it's very stable, but it doesn't have the unlimited worlds thing, which, yes, is annoying, but there's a cool thing about having limited sized worlds. It's because there's actually a really useful thing for being able to limit your worlds, because it's not in the 360 or the PS3, but on the PS4 or the Xbox One, you got like the ability to expand your world. Like, you got multiple worlds. I can't remember how many world sizes there are, but you can expand it. You can go with the smallest one, and you can gradually increase it as updates with new stuff come along, so that you don't accidentally generate too much. Like, infinite worlds, yeah, you're not generating too much stuff, but it gets to a point where it's just too big to keep track of everything. But if it's like this limited sized world, you don't generate this area that's really close to where it is, so that you can get some of the important stuff really close to where you are, which is just really nice in my opinion. So that's one of the nice things about the console edition. That, and it is a much more stable version of the game than both the Java edition and the Bedrock edition, because you see, yeah, you had those insane game-breaking bugs, but in the Java edition, it's had its fair share of insane game-breaking bugs, but mostly it's just that it's got no limits on entities, which is great because which makes sense because it's got to operate on such a wide range of devices anyway. But it should be able to, but like, there should be some code that allows it to read the device to determine how much it actually can handle, so it does limit stuff so it doesn't tax it too much. Like, I don't know, the console edition, there are ways to break it that they do patch out. Like, there's the floating village super flat thing, where it's like you generate really far down, you generate just a pile of what's it called? You generate your bedrock at the bottom, because in the console edition, interestingly enough, you have to have that bedrock at the bottom. Like, the void is just not accessible unless you're in the nether, which is weird. But anyway, but you gotta have that bottom layer of bedrock. But you can have, like, infinite layers of air up to, like, sand. Now, they patched it out so that sand can't just be floating in a super flat, which makes sense, because that would be horribly taxing on your console. But, so yeah, they patched that out, but they forgot to do that when they added in the powdered concrete, which is all great. I mean, powdered concrete. I mean, we could do that for a bit. Like, lava next to TNT is a no-no because that's also going to cause major problems. Basically anything that will cause major problems for your world, for your world's generation, is removed from that. Now, there could be a way to do some hacking and get around so you can automatically insert the preset you want. Like, that's probably possible. There's probably people who are working on trying to figure out how to do that, which I'm okay with. These are people, like, we don't want just the average noob to just come along and basically break their console by doing something completely stupid. But if it's like someone who knows what they're doing, and I don't see why they shouldn't be able to eventually figure out how to do that. Like, that's kind of the thing, you know? Like, another thing about Minecraft is that the endgame content is just, like, they've added so much more endgame content. Like, it came first, like, another thing I'd like to point out is the Java edition has the new combat, which I know a lot of the community is just like, no! But, to be honest, I've always liked it. It could be the fact that I'm actually pretty new to the Minecraft community as a whole, but, no, the reason I like this new combat is because I don't know, it's something that is fun to learn, and it's, like, there were, like, basically, just, you gotta fight everything like you're fighting a creeper now, is kind of how this is going. Unless you got knockback on your sword, then, in which case, you just fight like you always fight with your knockback sword, because everything is gonna be flying away from you anyway, so it's not like you can spam click once, because it's not there anymore. Just saying. Like, there's, like, a few things that I'd like to see added into the game. Like, a way to add, like, the health boost function. Like, absorption's cool, but the health boost effect, I'd like to see that implemented so that it can be accessible in the game. Like, that, there's the blindness effect, which isn't accessible. I'd like to see the luck effect have more of an impact. Unluck effect, I'd like to see that get implemented a little bit. That's sort of some of the stuff that I'd like to see. Another thing I'd like to see is, like, something that increases, like, knockback resistance in the game, which is kind of, you know, something that people, which I honestly wouldn't complain about adding, like, a knockback resistance thing. Like, adding that into the game would just be nice. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, a potion of knockback resistance, but it can be, like, I don't know, beacon effect. Like, adding more beacon effects would also be pretty cool. Like, say, like, the luck potion. Like, you can, like, have, like, put it on, like, level 5 beacon even, maybe. I don't know. And it's just like, you get a level 5 beacon, and you can give yourself the luck effect, and you put it right next to your fishing farm, and it will increase your chances of finding mending books, so you can put mending on all your stuff. Just that sort of stuff. Now, of course, there's, like, the AFK fishing farms, which are seriously overpowered. But, you know, they take time. Like, you gotta leave your computer on for it to actually do anything. But, you know, it's something that allows you to get to the end game stuff really quickly, is just all I'm saying. But another thing I'd like to point out is that the PC edition has the much stronger modding community than than any other thing. Like, console, zero modding community, and Pocket Edition has their puny add-ons, like, which are just like baby food compared to the actual mods that you can see in the like, there's commands missing even from the Bedrock version. Like, when they first added commands, this is hilarious. Like, they didn't add the /clear command, which was so annoying because back then, that was before they had the ability to use classic UI, which has been so nice. But back then, I would have given anything for it. I would have really loved a /clear so I could actually empty my inventory in creative, because, I don't know, I'm a bit OCD in the fact that I kind of like to have, like, an empty hotbar in, like, videos at that point in time. And it was just, like, it was so convoluted to try and do that. You had to empty your inventory, you had to have, like some lava, and you had to stand above it, and you had to press and hold on each thing to drop on each hotbar slot to drop the lava into your inventory. Most annoying thing ever, but yeah. Pocket UI, but classic UI, so much better than Pocket UI. I really like the fact that you can do classic crafting there. Like that, like classic crafting, to be honest, is honestly console edition. It's not preferable, but on the Pocket Edition, I much prefer it to the stuff. Because here's the thing, you know how it automatically uses resource, because you know when you're trying to craft with wood, it will like somehow automatically use wood you didn't want it to use. Like you wanted it to use this oak wood, but you had this birch wood on you. Birchwood, by the way, looks really nice in my opinion. I really like the look of birchwood. But nope, it uses the birchwood instead because your inventory was organized weirdly. And that's another thing about the Pocket UI. It just has so annoying way to organize your inventory. But yeah, now that's got the classic UI. I am so much happier with the Pocket Edition. Just not as happy as I am with the Java Edition, just saying. But, and other things, like, it's kind of like, you also get just, like, there's a bunch of missing features that you just go, why are they missing? Like parrots. Those are missing. There's absolutely no reason for them to be missing on the Pocket Edition. What's it called? Coarse dirt. Like I said, there's absolutely no reason for that to be missing too. I mean, it's on the console edition even. Like, come on, guys. Stick it in there. Like what's it called? All the 1.10 blocks, like they have the command block. Since they have the command block, why can't they just add this? Oh my, that was weird. The structure block, which is honestly such a cool and useful thing. Like couple of the structure block with command blocks. Another thing about commands is the Pocket Edition, they can't do NBT tags, which is so useful for stuff like assigning loot tables to check. Like custom loot tables even are so beautiful in the Java Edition. Like you can, like there's even in the Java Edition you can have like a player skulls, which is so nice to have. Like I don't know, something that would be really cool to add into the game a little bit would be like every time, like if a player dies by a charged creeper, which is itself rare, like their own head drops, which would just be like a really cool little thing that they actually could code into the game. So why they don't, I don't know, but it's actually possible to mod that too, I'll bet, because, you know, it's possible to like decompile the code and do some editing in it and recompile it to, I don't know, maybe add it so that the heads drop really rarely on loot tables even, or the heads drop like you could, or even add more mob heads, like say add the silverfish mob head, which would be really weird add, but you know, the reason I'm thinking about this is because I'm watching the new season of Hermitcraft. Like I haven't watched any of the previous ones because I literally subscribed to them like when the season 4, literally subscribed to, I think it's Zuzuma and Mumbo, like right as season 4 was ending. So I've subscribed to a few of the other ones who I think are pretty cool, like Iskal. But to be honest, it's just like I'm watching it and they got those custom mob heads loot table stuff, which is honestly really nice. Like I want to be able to add that into like a world. And actually I kind of want to like have a multiplayer server like of my own, sort of like it but different, because you know it'd be different because I gotta put my own spin on it. Like honestly, to be honest, like it would have a name like Hero Army Network, because that's like a channel I've got which has nothing on it right now. Like it's gonna get stuff on it, trust me. It'll be sometime this summer even. Just you wait. But other than that, like it's just, there's a whole bunch of stuff like there's some other YouTubers who, like, if I can invite them I would, because you know it's just like they're cool YouTubers. Like here's the thing though, like I haven't subscribed to plenty of YouTubers at this point, but my top 5 favorite have remained the same for like a year and a half now. Like there's the Game Theorist channel and Film Theorist. They're like MatPat's like my third favorite, I believe. My fourth favorite, like my second favorite is Popular MMOs. My fourth favorite, that's always been Matthias. Ever since I found his channel, like Matthias has been way up there because he's just really funny, you know. Because that's just like he's a really funny guy. So it's just all like, yeah, I like his content. And what's his name? Like in fifth, it's Gaming with Jen. You know, Popular MMO's wife. Like that's kind of something that, you know, it's just kind of like, yeah. And she's really funny. Like, she doesn't upload on her own channel much, but she's always doing videos with her husband, which is just, and they're so funny. Like, those two just, they don't really interact with other YouTubers too often, which is okay. Like, they're the ones that it's just like, yeah, they're kind of do their own thing for the most part, which is so cool in my opinion. Like, it's just like, yeah, they do their own thing. Like, I got a group of friends in which we'd probably end up making a community almost eventually, but those guys are just on their own. But my favorite YouTuber is, of course, IBX Toycat. Like, to be honest, it's just a lot of my style has kind of based off of him. Like, I had my old intro, which was like basically a direct copy of his intro. I changed it to, you know, Sup Dudes, I'm the 3-7th Hero, and yeah, that's all nice, but I know his intro is all, hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and imagine I'm trying to do a British accent, but I don't know. But yeah, it's all nice. Like, I'm really impressed with his Let's Play world even, which is 4.5 years old at this point. More than that, actually. It was like October something 2012 when the thing started up. So yeah, it's almost 5 years old at this point. Like, October this year, it's gonna be a 5-year-old Let's Play. Let's just say that. Like, he's had that thing for a while, and he's made some crazy stuff in there. Like, 302 episodes. It's like the 303rd one coming out on Monday. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't think he's dying before then, so we'll still get it. I mean, he's likely already recorded it, because pre-recording. But, then there's the fact that, you know, he's just kind of a really cool guy. Like, he's also, I like his second channel with all the geography stuff. Like, I've learned a bunch of geography stuff from there, which is all nice, because it's just all like, yeah, this is cool stuff to talk. Like, it's not cool to everyone. I mean, that's an obvious thing. Like, not everyone's gonna find geography really cool. Like, I already know that for a fact, but I find it cool. Toycat clearly finds it cool, so I watch his second channel videos a lot. Not all of them. No, because there's some things where it's like, I already know that stuff, so, like, but most of the time, it's just like, oh, here's some interesting facts about Lithuania. Actually, I'm not sure if he's done a video. Like, Toycat, if you somehow end up watching this, do like a 5 fun facts about Lithuania video, because that could be interesting. I'm not sure why, but specifically Lithuania or Czechia. Both would be cool. But then, to be honest, it's just like, yeah. But there's other things, like, okay, like, if you've been around on my channel a while, you'd know that I've reviewed a few things. I've reviewed the first FNAF book, which, really, hint, hint, it's coming out, like, next week. I'm not sure when, but I'm going to be getting that thing, and I'm going to review it, the second one. And, yeah. Also, at some point, I'm going to have, like, a backdrop of sorts, with, like, a shelf with a whole bunch of merchandise stuff on it, like both FNAF books will be on there. Like, I'm gonna collect like physical copies. Like, I've got mostly ebooks at this point, but I'm gonna collect physical copies of all of Rick Riordan's books, like Kane Chronicles, Percy Jackson, all that stuff, because I'm really into those books. So it's just me, like, stuff that I really want on the shelf. Like, my Mushroom Jeb, you might have seen him on my Instagram before, like a long time ago. I'm also plugging my Instagram here, at the 3-7th Hero. And while I was saying at the 3-7th Hero, just search that up on Twitter. I'm sure you'll find me. But, yeah. So I've got myself, like, an Instagram and a Twitter, which is all nice. I like those. I've got a Facebook, but I'm not really going to share that because I don't use it, really. I don't. I'm really not a big fan of Facebook. Yeah, but, something else I got, like, there's, But anyway, like, I'm going to put the Mushroom plush on my shelf. I'm also going to Like I got a Minecraft Diamond Sword foam one. That's gonna be on there. Like there's gonna be other stuff on there. Like I don't know. I got a Lego Black Pearl. And I'm into Pirates of the Caribbean, so I'm probably gonna stick that on the shelf too. Well, I got a plate in front of me which had pizza on it earlier, but I don't know. I probably like I don't know. If I manage to get to it, I put like the play buttons on the shelf. The silver, gold, diamond. To be honest, I'm gonna like my sister's really good at craft stuff. Like I'm gonna get her make custom ones for the new digit milestones that are before that, like 10 subscribers. Like she made a Christmas present. I'm like, okay, reached 10 subscribers like right around Christmas. I'm like, okay, 10 subscribers, play button. Because no, it's a YouTube play button that she gave me. This was really funny. So it's just like, yeah. So I used that as like I treated that like a 10 subscriber play button. Like I don't know what I'd like ask her to make it out of for like 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. But it's like 100,000 subscribers. YouTube sends you the silver thing, and it's just like, yeah, that's just something really cool to think about. Like 100,000 subscribers, and you get this cool play button, and you pretty much YouTube can be your job from now on. Because that's a pretty stable following there at the 100,000. Like as long as you don't do anything stupid and you manage to keep up with a few trends, you should be good. Like 1 million subscribers, you can do more of your own thing there because you got a pretty good fan base and you got enough of them that if you can set some trends. 10 million, you've pretty much you'll be a YouTuber. You'll be a YouTuber for the rest you can keep that. That could pretty much be your job for as long as YouTube is a thing. Once you reach 10 million. And I don't know, once you reach 20 million, that's kind of like, okay. Yeah, okay, now you've got some major influence as a YouTuber now, because that is a lot of subscribers. Like, heck, even 10 million get a lot of influence as a YouTuber. And even then, it's not even like, this is like, okay, you reach 50 million. Let's just say this. If you reach 60 million now, you've already beat PewDiePie. But I don't think that's going to happen. But at the same time, actually, I want to try some weird experiments on YouTube with YouTube. Like, I want to see if YouTube can figure out, like, bot accounts for to artificially inflate subscriber counts. Like, I'm not going to do that with my main channel because that's just stupid. But I'm like, make a second channel and just subscribe to it with a bunch of bot accounts as well. Like, that's something that I want to try at some point. Like, see what happens if we do that. Like, see how long it takes YouTube to detect that there's a channel with a whole bunch of bot subscribers. Like, that's something that I want to see if like fake subscribers. Like, I'll sit there, like, I'll literally sit there and make all the accounts myself. Like, that's what I do. Might be tedious, but I want to see that experiment. Like, what will that experiment do? Because that's really funny. I'll mention it, so it's probably going to be quicker to notice it because it's in a YouTube video that I'm mentioning that this is something that should happen. Like, I want to try some weird... Like, there's some weird experiments that I want to try. Like, I'm probably not going to end up trying them anyway. But, like, in the video from earlier today, like, today's 6 p.m. video, that thing, I tried an experiment. I'm like, because shulker boxes in Minecraft can't be placed inside other shulker boxes, which makes sense, because if that was possible, you would create infinite storage. Oh man, I just coughed. But, I was thinking, well, maybe if we tried placing the shulker box in a hopper that was pointing into a shulker box, maybe the hopper would still put the shulker box in the shulker box, which is really weird to say. Shulker box in the shulker box. But anyway, so I was thinking maybe that'll happen. It didn't, so I can see that they clearly thought of that. At least the Pocket Edition guys. I didn't test it on the PC edition, but it's still a thing, It's just all like, okay, there you go. PC edition has that. But there's other things that I was thinking, like, the new glazed terracotta. Like, people are getting annoyed at that. People are getting annoyed at the glazed terracotta. I'm just going to say this right now. It is not a block that generates as part of any structure, nor is it a block that generates as part of the terrain. If you don't want to use it, don't smelt your new like, I can understand getting annoyed by renaming hardened clay to terracotta. That annoys me for some reason. I don't know why, but anyway, so yeah, that annoys me. But just don't stick these hardened clay into the furnace, and you won't get any glazed terracotta. Like you'll never encounter the stuff. If you don't want to encounter it, you won't encounter it, unless you're like looking at someone else's base where they just happen to have used it. Then you'll see it, but that's their preference, not yours. So who cares? ASCAL, if you're watching, yeah, the same goes for diorite. Yeah. I'm just saying, there's just a whole bunch of things. It's like, I get annoyed by people whose preference they try to enforce over other people. Except for gravel. Gravel sucks. Gravel is just the worst. Like, here's the thing, though. Like, there is a text, like, I think there's, like, Zuma was, like, in videos, like, this, Vanilla Tweaks. I thought it was Mumbo. I'm not sure which one. But it was, like, yeah, they tweaked the, granite, andesite, and diorite to make them a bit smoother and nicer looking, which, yes, I'll admit they looked nicer. Like, diorite, yeah, it is a bit too, discolored from its white kind of color. Like, I don't know. I'd like it if it was a bit more white, to be honest. Like, I'm not being racist here, okay? Don't take those lines out of context and make me sound like a racist, okay? That would just be so annoying because, yeah, I'm talking about diorite here, okay? Like, if you do, like, if there's just someone who just happens to do that, I'm literally, like, gonna get you, like, I'm literally would, because that's actually illegal. I think it's, like, I don't know what it's called, like, but it's actually illegal to do stuff that, tarnishes someone else's reputation falsely, like, doing something that's not true, lying in a way that tarnishes someone else's reputation. Like, I think there's actually laws about that, which means that, yeah, if you were to take that out of context to make me sound like a racist, I'm pretty sure that you can get in trouble with the law for that. Fair warning, Wall Street Journal, you might want to pay attention to that next time you want to go after PewDiePie. Just saying. And yeah, yep. You all thought that was over. That was back in January, wasn't it? No, I'm just going to reference that now, because that's still a thing people do. Except with Donald Trump, you don't even need to take what he says out of context to make him sound like a racist, because in context it sounds racist. Because it is. Okay? I don't know. It's just embarrassing that the Americans elected him. So I'm glad I'm not American. I'm Canadian, and I'm okay with that. Except our prime minister is just a guy who just, like, one of his perks, his biggest perk, he's got good hair. My sisters and my mother are watching a movie downstairs, and it's not Inception, but I just heard the Inception sound. It's just like, okay, right. So Inception jump scare? No, it's not Inception. All right, people are ripping off that sound now. Honestly, people rip off a whole bunch of stuff from other movies. Like, I was like, I don't know. Like, I was reading about something, and I'm just looking at it, I'm like, I don't know, it's that Valerian, like, I've seen ads for it in theaters, I'm looking at it, I'm like, they're trying, like, without providing much of a backstory as to what the heck this is based on or anything, you're kind of tricking Star Wars fans. Like, unsuspecting Star Wars fans, like the idiot ones. Because there are idiot Star Wars fans. I'm just going to say there's idiots in every community. I'm just going to say that right now. And that, by the way, in the political community, that's Donald Trump. Just saying. Yeah. But, yeah, you get idiots in all sorts of communities, which is not where you should judge the community by, because even the community hates their own idiots, because they make the community look bad. And most communities don't like being made to look bad because of one idiot. I'm just saying. The same goes for me. Like, yeah. Like, if I was, like, to start up some sort of, like, community, like, yeah, I don't want to just, like, this video is going on really long. Oh, man, that was the other recording, just 40-minute long of me just talking about stuff. Because I need to talk about stuff. Like, as late as this is, I should really end this so that this gets up on time. But yeah, but I don't really have anything else to talk about now. So yeah, I'm just gonna. So yeah, thanks for watching me talk about like a whole bunch of stuff like that, like my opinions. You know, it's just like I want to get my opinion out there with some stuff. You know, it's just stuff. Like I have a whole bunch of other opinions that I didn't say here, but they're not really stuff that I felt like needed to be talked, spoken about. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Spoken about in this video. Like there might be other videos where I talk about some of my other opinions on like, you know, LGBT stuff, a whole bunch of other stuff like religion, that sort of stuff. Like yeah, like the majority of this channel, like the rules are like no religion, no politics, but there are going to be videos where I do talk about that, because it's kind of this thing where it's like, you got to talk about some of this sort of stuff. You got to get it out of you, because some of this stuff can be really frustrating stuff, you know, because there's people who try to force their opinions on you, and there's people who do have opinions of their own, but they make no sense and make them look like idiots, and you just really can't stand to be around them because of how idiotical their opinions make them sound. And yes, that is a thing. There are such thing as opinion. There are such thing, like, people seem to have this attitude of, well, that's my opinion, you can't change it. And like, yeah, I can't change your opinion, but at the same time, there are things that are not subjective in any way. There are things that are completely objective, that if you're wrong, you are wrong, and the fact that you're claiming it as your opinion does not change that you're wrong. Like, that's something that really frustrates me. People, like, I've given up with those sort of people because I've now accepted them as complete morons. Like, people who think that just because they think something, it's true because, well, it's their opinion. That's just moronic, in my opinion. Yeah, it's moronic in my opinion, but it's objectively moronic. It's not subjectively moronic. It is objectively moronic to think that because it's your opinion, it is therefore true, and no one can talk you out of it. Let's just say there are things that are purely subjective, like, I don't know, whether or not diorite looks good, is Scal. Whether or not gravel looks good, Toy Cat, and of course me, I guess. But whether or not chocolate ice cream is good, I personally don't like chocolate ice cream. I don't mind it, but it's not my favorite. I kind of prefer vanilla and mint, to be honest. Like, that's like, I combine those two, like, whenever I eat ice cream, because they taste so good together. But yeah, opinions are sort of the thing. That's like, I had to get out my own opinions. And if there's something where it's like I'm stupidly wrong, like, don't be afraid to go down to the comment section and tell me, no, you're wrong about this specific thing. This is objectively this. And I'd love it if someone came along and I was claiming something and someone came along and came up with a reasoned, logical, objective argument as to why I'm wrong. Like, I'd love it if someone did that. Like, with the attitude most people have regarding opinions, people are afraid to do that now, which is annoying. Except for YouTube, the YouTube comment section, which is great. I'm on YouTube, so people are not afraid to try and screw other people's opinions over. So, yeah. Only problem is when they disregard things that are completely subjective. So yeah, it's really a two ends of the spectrum thing. Like, I want people who have the middle ground. Like, if something is objective, if I'm objectively wrong, tell me that. But don't do anything that's but don't criticize my opinions that are subjective. Criticize anything that I say that's objectively wrong, but anything that's subjectively wrong, like it's wrong to you. Like, I say mint ice cream is the best ice cream in the world, and you're like, no, it's strawberry. Well, just keep that to your, like, you can say, okay, mint ice cream's awesome, but I prefer strawberry ice cream. Like, yeah, we can have a thought-provoking conversation, but don't go, no, Thomas, mint ice cream's horrible. Strawberry ice cream's the only good ice cream. That really is not how you should do it. Now I'm trying to teach the YouTube comment section how to be better. Yeah, Yeah, okay. I hope I've not offended anyone in this video yet. I really don't want to be like Toy Cat in his 300th episode talking about fruit, offending people with fruit. That was honestly hilarious. Or was it the pre-episode live stream, like the preparation live stream in which he was offending people with fruit and Maryland's flag? I don't remember, but thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like if you like this. Share it if you really liked it. I'm still using Toy Cat's sort of outro. It gets vaguely Toy Cats, but at the same time it's not Toy Cats. But thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to hit that like button because it lets me know you like this video. Share this video with your friends because that helps grow my channel. And subscribe because that also helps grow my channel. But thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.